So hey guys, today we're gonna do something really exciting, and by we, of course, I mean I. We're gonna put up my fairy lights! And a good friend of mine actually gave these to me to put up in my room, so I do thank you. You know who you are, so thanks. And I've already put up the clip, so hopefully I've spaced them right and this should be an easy task to accomplish. Let's do it! Need my chair. Huh. Let's try that again. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And well, there they are. I finally have them up, and they look wonderful. So, I feel like we first need to see them in the dark to get the full glory of these fairy lights. Up. Turn off all the lights. Turn off all the lights. Try not to... okay, that wasn't supposed to go that way. Try not to trip over everything as I'm turning off the lights. And okay, almost made it. Yeah. Awesome. Diggity dog. Yeah. Woo. Well, that just looks fantastic. So I have several YouTubers that I like to watch who are all mostly British YouTubers, and a lot of them have different lights in the rooms, much like I now have. Thank you, Megan. And in many cases, I've heard them refer to these Christmas lights, in essence, as fairy lights. And I was very much confused as to why so many British YouTubers kept referring to these things as fairy lights. I mean, they're Christmas lights. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand anything. Why fairy lights? So I started doing a little bit of research, and I actually ended up going straight down the rabbit hole, let me tell you. Turns out there is quite an interesting history as to why they're called fairy lights, and they are predominantly called fairy lights in Europe specifically. I mean, really they are just Christmas lights, but that's what they were called in Europe, fairy lights. Apparently, in 1881, Sir Joseph Swan, inventor of the incandescent light bulb, but wait a moment, I thought Thomas Edison was the inventor of the incandescent light bulb. Could my public schooling have deceived me? I don't really know, but according to my sources, it would seem not only was Sir Joseph Swan labeled, at least within Europe, as the inventor of the incandescent light bulb, but historians believe there's a list of 22 other people who invented the incandescent light bulb, not only before Sir Joseph Swan, but before Thomas Edison. However, Thomas Edison is given the glory of this invention because of three determining factors. Number one, his bulbs were made of a slightly better incandescent material. And number two, his bulbs had a much higher vacuum within them. And number three, Mr. Edison's bulbs had a high resistance that made power distribution from a centralized source economically viable. And this is exactly the rabbit hole that I was telling you about. I was not expecting to find other inventors of the incandescent light bulb. Other inventors of the fairy lights. Not only that, but I discovered more of how fairy lights, in essence, Christmas lights, came into existence. But maybe I'll do that another time. Apparently, in 1881, Sir Joseph Swan supplied the Savoy Theatre of London with about 1,200 incandescent lamps, making it the first building not only in London, but in the world to be entirely lit with electrical lights. These lights, of course, were supplied by the Swan United Electric Lamp Company. But then a year later, the owner of the theatre decided to use several of these lights for the opening night of the Gilbert and Sullivan performance, in which these lights were utilized for the fairies of the opera Iolanthe, if I'm pronouncing that properly. Iolanthe. Yolanthe. The show premiered on the 25th of November 1882 and was basically about a band of immortal fairies who found themselves at odds with the House of Peers. And basically the entire opera was a satire of the British government and law. However, this is my understanding of where the term fairy lights came from, because again, these lights were utilized by the fairies within the performance during the show. Fairy lights. So really, what I'm hearing from this is that these lights every year, which are representing the spirit of Christmas in Europe, are really a symbol of all the things wrong with British government and law under a satirical context. Ha! Yeah! History! Now maybe I'm just taking it a little too far. Maybe I don't really understand what's going on. Then again, my sources have been Wikipedia. So maybe I don't actually have the facts straight because I am in no way a true historian. But since that time of that performance, these lights have been known not as Christmas lights, but as fairy lights. Amazing what history can teach us. Amazing. But I am really excited about these. I can't even tell you just how excited I am for these fairy lights. And it seems like a silly thing, but it's a big deal. It really is. So yeah, and I suppose with that, I won't waste any more of your time. Hopefully I didn't waste any of it today. I tried my best to make your time worthwhile because your time is valuable to me. And I thank you for it. I thank you for it. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why I make this voice now, but that is what I do. Okay, I'm going to stop it now. Yeah. So thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Aight. Yeah. Huh. I guess this would be a good time to find out if I actually hit record this time. Well, that was fun. Yeah. Don't know how much fun you had, but I had a blast. Wow, I'm animated today. Like a cartoon character. Karate chopping my way through this film. Video. VEDA. Tired.